Hey everyone, Milkman Al here. Have you ever gotten the urge to just really piss your doctor off? Have you ever wanted to make sure that the people taking care of you have an absolutely shit day? Well, today we're going to be talking about 6 things you can do to make sure that that happens. Now, I'm not talking about anything wild, like coming in, throwing a tantrum, breaking stuff, assaulting people, things like that. That'll certainly do the trick, but it'll also land you in jail. These things are a little bit more subtle, and you might not even know you're doing them, honestly, depending on what kind of person you are. So we'll get into that. Before we do, though, if you like this video, please like and subscribe here. And don't forget to follow me live 8 to 10 p.m. Central on Twitch and YouTube. And also come join us in Discord. All social links are down below in the description. So here we go. 6 things that doctors absolutely hate. First and foremost, insisting on writing every single thing down. Now, I'm not talking about just writing down 1 or 2 things that your doctor tells you. That's fine. I get it. We say a lot of information. There's a bunch of medical jargon, and, maybe you need the name of a prescription or another doctor, or who knows, whatever. There are certainly things worth writing down. But if you make us pause so you can write stuff down, because I'd certainly talk much faster than you can write, I guarantee it, it's going to take way more time than necessary to do your appointment. Most of the information that we tell you is going to be in a handout or some sort of printed material that we give you anyway, so it's not like you need to be writing this stuff down. Now, more importantly, writing things down is basically one step short of telling your doctor that you're going to sue them. It's basically as close you can get without actually saying those words. So you basically set yourself at odds with your doctor immediately, because they feel like they're being cataloged and they're going to be scrutinized based on what they say at a later date. Now, if you're truly just out to get all of the information possible, again, you can get these things in written form. This is the information age. You can go to medical records and have them print off a copy of your chart and everything that's in your medical record, no questions asked. All you have to do is sign a piece of paper at most, and then you get anything that you want. I personally see about 20 to 25 patients a day most of the time, and if I have to spend an extra 5 minutes with each of them, waiting for people to take down the information that they want to write down, that's a lot of time. That's an extra 2 hours of just me kind of standing around waiting for people to do stuff, and that's unacceptable to other patients. I have other people to take care of. So please don't do that. It really bothers everybody. In the same vein is people who take the time to scrutinize their consent forms. Now, I fully support you reading all of the legal material that, you're about to be signing, but again, that gives off the impression that you don't trust the people who are taking care of you, and it makes everybody uneasy. None of these consent forms are designed to confuse you or put you in a bad position. I'm sure at some point some hospital has created a, toxic form that screws patients over potentially in case of, a potentially legally actionable scenario. But for the most part, we just have to have you sign these papers so we can actually take care of you. These are just sort of standard catch-all kind of forms. And, if you want to ask brutal details about them, I'm not the guy to ask those questions anyway. I have zero legal education. Going through these consent forms with a fine-tooth comb is just really obnoxious for everybody around you. So, damn it, stop doing that. The third thing you can do to piss off your doctor is show up with an exceptionally long list of medications that you're allergic to. There's very, very few people who are actually truly allergic to more than 1 or 2 medications. That is very rare. Most of these people are having what we call intolerances, which basically means they just don't like how they react to these medicines. Maybe they get nauseated or delirious even, or have a rash or something like that. But you're not allergic to these meds. If you come in and tell me that you're allergic to epinephrine because it makes your heart race, I will slap you. Or I would if I could, if that wasn't assault. But I want to slap you. A long medication allergy list is basically a red flag to all of your providers that you're probably going to be really tough to deal with, because either you've got massive anxiety issues, or you're just extremely picky, or something. So we know that bad things are coming when we see that. And depending on what's on your list, things might be even worse. If you tell us that you are allergic to Tylenol, ibuprofen, fentanyl, oxycodone, and everything, but you can have Dilaudid, no go, man. Nope, we know that's all crap. So I mentioned that I have a whole bunch of people to see. If you give me some long story that has nothing to do with the question that I ask you, uh, I'm gonna sort of hate my life. It's not fun. And I don't have time for that, frankly. So please answer the questions that you're asked directly. If somebody asks you if you have chest pain, say yes. Don't give them a story about your child or your dog or what you did in college or nobody cares. We want to know if you have chest pain or if we're going to like kill you potentially doing this procedure. None of that other stuff matters. And more importantly, it makes people tune out. If you're telling this long-winded story about, something that's irrelevant or tangentially related at best, the important information might get lost in that story, and you sort of have defeated the purpose of your healthcare provider asking you questions in the first place. So, yeah, really annoying. Don't do that. Don't stretch my day out that way. So speaking of stretching days out, the fifth thing that you can do to really piss off your doctor is be late for appointments. Now, this one kind of cuts both ways. So, everybody knows the experience of going to a doctor's office and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. But if we're waiting on you, that is equally annoying. I promise. We have very tight schedules. We've got lots of patients to see. And so if we have to squeeze you into an already tight schedule because you missed your appointment or you're running behind, that sucks. Now, I understand that shit happens and people get late, but if you just kind of show up whenever you want, and that's a habitual thing especially, that ain't gonna fly. That is not gonna make people happy. Basically, it tells us that you don't care about your healthcare and you don't care about us. And again, I understand that this works both ways. There are plenty of people I know who schedule their days very poorly. I know one surgeon who tells people his 6-hour procedures take 2.5 hours. That isn't cool either. We don't want that. It screws up the operating room schedule. It screws up your schedule. It's just shitty to do, so don't do that. Respect other people. Respect our time, we'll respect your time. Last but not least, don't lie to us. Doctors ask you questions not to judge you, but to figure out what's going to be safe for you and what's to handle your medical situation the best. I don't really give a shit about the joint in your pocket, but I do need to know about any drugs that you're using because anesthesia and street drugs don't play good. And I'd rather not kill you if I don't have to. Lying to your doctor is potentially dangerous and basically just really stupid. We need to know everything about you. We ask these questions for a reason, like I said. So if you've got heart problems, if you've got breathing issues, tell us about it. Don't hold that stuff back. Even things that seem really common or benign, like asthma, sleep apnea, maybe you've had a heart palpitation or something like that, we need to know all that stuff. Because maybe, you think it's nothing, but it might not be nothing. So please tell us. Because if something bad happens to you and you wake up and say, oh yeah, I've been having some pain in my neck and kind of in my back for a long time. Like, well, dude, you were probably having a heart attack. Why didn't you tell me about that? What's wrong with you? Tell me all of the information you've got. It's super important. So there you have it, folks. 6 things you can do to really ruin your doctor's day. I hope you take them all and use them. Go piss somebody off who's trying to take care of you. I fully support that. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Anyway, I'm Milkman Al. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like I said, please come see me. Socials links are down in the description. Appreciate you watching. Have a great day.